Hey everybody, welcome back to Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff, and welcome to the end of 2020. I'm sure this could not come fast enough for a lot of people, but let's take a moment to reflect. That's what I'm doing today. I'm doing the 2020 year in review for the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff shop and channel, and look back at the year, maybe a little bit of a look forward at next year. So let's get going. The year started out as if nobody could ever see the year coming. Back in January, as will happen next January, I started by rolling out the Christmas gift videos that I made, the things that I made for Christmas gifts, because you don't want to put out videos of the Christmas gifts that you're making for people before Christmas, when those people could then watch the channel and you know what I mean? So January was the rollout of the remaining Christmas gift videos, followed closely by my celebration of getting to 1,000 subscribers here on the channel, where I started a series of Q&A videos where I got you guys to submit questions and then I would answer them in a subsequent video and enter the question askers in a draw. Then eventually I made the bowl to go for that giveaway, for that draw. But that brings me to the first major significant thing that happened this past year, is that I got past my fear of the lathe. I had been off the lathe for a year-ish, because it hurt me, if you remember. If you don't, I'll leave a link for that up in the corner for where my lathe hurt me. And it kept me off the lathe for a year-ish. But early this year, I decided to spin it back up. I got proper lathe turning tools. I got a proper chuck. And I got past my fear of the lathe. That was the first major turning point in the shop this past year. Then I moved on to make the Moxon pipe clamp vise, which has been a fantastic addition for the shop. Then I made the joinery cabinet. It's a 3-part series on this cabinet that now holds all my saws. I made a couple of videos with my boy Sven. We did the Home Depot project thing. We moved a bunch of lumber around. That was good times. And then I gave away the bowl that I made a video of making on the channel. Then we move into the summer. And it started out with the whiskey cabinet build that's over on that wall over there, modeled after this, but smaller. I started a monthly live Q&A hangout sort of shop review show in the summer, which then eventually progressed into a weekly turning show, but we'll get to that in a minute. I made a bunch of charcuterie boards from a big twisted maple slab that was up on the rack. I did some science with some cherry slabs out in the driveway, and in fact up on the back deck, to figure out how quickly cherry changes color in the sun. I made my first lidded boxes in the summer. I made a set of kitchen shelves, quick and dirty DIY kitchen shelves that the wife wanted. I made a new lathe station. Well, I repurposed some old cabinet type things to make a lathe station. And then I bought a new lathe and put it on the new lathe station, which was kind of the second big turning point, I would say, in the past year. Because when I got the new Laguna 1216 lathe, that's when I really got into turning a little more. And that started to shift I wouldn't say it shifted my focus, but it did sort of shift. There were more often times when I would go into that direction. To work on the lathe. Instead of making flat and square things, I would make round things. And that has really proven both good and bad. We'll get into that in a minute. I made the guitar rack to hold all of my guitars. I turned my first pens. I made market display racks because, believe it or not, there was a market this past summer that I got to go to and sell some things. Then we move on to the fall, which is where I started my weekly live turning show on Saturday nights. Well, first it was on Friday nights, but then it moved to Saturday nights at 5:30. I'm still doing that for Saturday nights at 5:30 Pacific time. We go over to the lathe and we spin it up and we try to make something and not screw it up. I did my bandsaw setup video. People were asking me if I had some tips on how to set up a bandsaw, so I did a bandsaw setup video. And then I made my shaker style sharpening cabinet station, the carcass of it anyway. It still doesn't have doors and drawers on it. That's coming up January, February. And I made some French style rolling pins. And then we moved back into winter. So over the last couple of weeks, I got a new chuck. I did a gift guide. I put the video out of my boy and his buddy making a pumpkin launcher in the shop. That was a fun one. I made some gnomes, which was lots of fun. I made my mom's ornament, my first ever Christmas ornament. And I did my what I got for Christmas haul video in the last few weeks here. 81 videos this year on the channel. This is my 81st video of 2020. 21 projects, 16 what I'm calling tool talk videos, which is like my bandsaw setup, what table saw blades I use, what's my favorite tool right now videos, unboxing videos, stuff like that. Stuff where I'm talking about tools. 19 live shows, I think. And then a bunch of other random ones like the cherry science experiment and the shop cleanup video and making spicy teriyaki pork chops and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's been a busy, productive year here on the channel. And I know that things have sort of twisted and turned over the course of the year. That's kind of how this channel goes. I don't have a direction for where I want the channel to go at any given time. I make what I want to make in the shop or what I need to make in the shop, and I bring you guys along. And that's how it goes. And sometimes I want to talk about a tool or something that I'm doing, so I'll do a talkie. And that's, if you like that, you like that. And if you don't, I'm sorry. But that's probably the way this channel is going to continue. And in terms of the types of projects that are going to be coming up over the next year, I can't really say one way or the other what's going to happen there either. But I am going to spend some more time over at the lathe because I am getting quite into turning. I'm having a really good time over there. So if you don't like the lathe ones, it'll be pretty clear in the video title whether I'm doing a lathe one. So that's really all I can say. I'm not going to apologize for how this channel's going to go or how it's gone or what happens. This is just hanging out in the shop with Mike. That's what this channel is. That's it for this one. You know what? We just a quick look back at the year, and I am looking forward to continuing doing what I'm doing here, bringing you guys along. Lots of you seem to like what I'm doing, and I really, really appreciate you guys coming along with me and commenting and liking the videos and interacting with me on the live shows and in the comment section and over on Facebook and on Instagram. Links for all this stuff is down below. If you want to support the channel, I appreciate that as well. I do have a Patreon page that I'll have a link for down there. I have an Etsy store if you want to buy something that I make in the shop. That'll be down in there too. And, you know, just thanks. Thanks for coming along. I at this point, I was looking at some crazy numbers the other day. 25,000 views a month this channel is getting now for 2,500 hours of people's time every month is watching me in this shop. And that's just fantastic. I love that. I love that people are liking what I'm doing. And I can't thank you enough. Anyway, happy end of 2020. We'll see you in 2021. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye for now. I made gnomes. Look at the gnomes. They make me laugh.